Hello and welcome back to our Rhun playthrough in Tales from the Age of Men. And indeed, look at what we got going on here. We got a one-handed perk point to spend. So what are we going to go for? Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm actually using a relatively decent shield this time, so, you know, because obviously the other one is only for infantry, so, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go for arrow catcher. Generally, arrow catcher is the way to go for me, because oh, it's so annoying. It's so annoying if an arrow just goes streaming past your shield and manages to hit you in the face. So, that's the reason why I have arrow catcher. But yeah, we're almost level 20 as well. We're almost level 20, so that's going to be kind of cool. We're going to be able to see some new career stuff. And otherwise, I'm actually going to join this continuing siege. Now, there is a siege going on in the other area of former Erebor territory. Oh yeah, by the way, I just wanted to draw your attention to this. This is the reason why I was actually starting the episode here. I was actually going to play a little bit off screen, but there was some big moves, big stuff happening right here. You can see that Dol Guldur has been eliminated, as well as Gundabad, basically at the exact same time. And you may be wondering, okay, who took them out, right? Who eliminated them? And it turns out that it's actually Mirkwood. It's actually Mirkwood that did that. I will show you the map after this. I'll show you how it's going, because I did show you the map previously in the previous episode. But you know, maybe it's something that you are interested in to see exactly what's happening with the elves here, because they're on an absolute tear. I am actually very surprised that they were able to do this, because the last time that I played, Dol Guldur was almost unstoppable. They were extremely powerful, and nowadays, no. Nowadays, now they just got squashed. They just got squashed, you know, just absolutely obliterated by the Mirkwood elves. Obviously, they could be also allying themselves with someone else. We might have allied, or shall we say, they might have allied with the Lothlorian elves. We might be having two different elf groups working together. And if that is the case, then I'm not that surprised, because elves in general, they are fantastic. They've got amazing stats, as we've seen. They have really good stats. Their archery skill alone is insanely good, and they would be more than capable of being able to just go into the siege and just shoot huge amounts of enemies. I mean, their combat strength alone is very impressive. Alright, so here we go. We have entered the siege, and let's see how Rhun does, because if they are anything like the Khuzait, which they kind of are in a way, you know, because they focus quite a lot on cavalry, and they've got a lot of horse archers and stuff like that. I am a little bit hesitant to say that we're going to be okay here. I'm a little bit worried, actually. Because despite the fact that the enemy only has around 200 people in the garrison here, and obviously technically this is our former fief, or not ours, you know, specifically not Bruce's, shall we say, but it is a former Rhun fief. So I'm very much hoping that we're going to be okay with this. I'm actually just going to, oh no, I was actually going to move my horse back there, but I'm apparently being shot at, which is not very nice. So let's see if we can maybe move ourselves over here and see what we can do. Now, if I can, yeah, so I can just go like this. There we go. Yeah, this is kind of the time when you'd probably say, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a bow? Yeah, it would be quite nice to have a bow, wouldn't it, right now? But, you know, I didn't do that. So, yeah, I will have to, you know what? I will have to do that sometime soon. I will have to make a character that specializes in bows. But you know what? It's actually really funny. I say that almost every single time, and almost every single time I go, yeah, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'll do something else. I'll do melee only, or I'll do thrown weapons, or even, I don't even know, maybe crossbow? Maybe crossbow sometimes as well, because from my perspective, I personally, I don't know what it is about bows, but for some reason the enjoyment factor has gone down quite dramatically for me personally. Wow, alright, that was actually pretty crazy. Okay, so we are now absolutely fine, because did you see that? We totally pivoted. We were getting ambushed left, right, and center, and boom, look at what has happened. We have now completely turned the tables. We used our spear to great effect. We even indeed leveled up our athletic skill extremely nicely. And this is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to go into a siege, because most of the time I don't really have the opportunity to get off my mount and do damage on foot. In a regular field battle, it's basically impossible, you know? It's one of those things where you just kind of go, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to put myself in that situation. I'm not going to go and dismount and potentially make myself much more vulnerable than I would otherwise have to be. And the siege gives me that perfect opportunity to be a little bit selfish with my kills, you know? Be a little bit selfish, be a little bit like, oh yes, I will do whatever it takes, you know? I'll do whatever it takes to secure these kills, and so on and so forth. You know, all that wonderful stuff. And that does seem to be working really, really nicely here. So, unfortunately, I don't really get a huge amount of loot, because obviously we were working with an ally, and we didn't really get a huge amount of kills. Our forces didn't get a huge amount of kills either. So it's pretty sad, to be honest, but that's okay, because we've already taken back the place, right? We've taken back the wonderful wonderful town that we had beforehand, and 7,000. Okay, yeah, so I'm basically just going to sell everything that I can here. 12,500, pretty decent. Let's go over to the smithy here, because what as I said before in the previous episode, I was actually trying to create some polearms so I could potentially sell them and then be able to afford a very nice, oh yes, a very nice piece of armor, which would be very, very welcome indeed. So I think what we'll do is we'll probably make something like this, I guess, or yeah, we're gonna make something like this. Let me see here. What happens if I put something that's really, really high level here? Maybe this. This is actually okay. It does cost more wood, which I'm not a big fan of. Oh, what about that one? Okay, that seems pretty nice. Okay, and what about this? Okay, that's pretty good. And then what about this? That seems pretty good. All right, so let's just create some random things. I'm very much hoping that they're going to be quite impactful in regards to our money situation. Let's take a look. I mean, unfortunately, we are creating some bent ones, which obviously is not exactly great, because that does reduce their cost. No, this is absolutely terrible, as you can see right there. This is really, really bad. So we're probably going to do something a little bit different. So that's out then. That is out, because these are terrible. These are really, really bad. So what I will do instead is I will just wait here for some time, and then we're going to create something a little bit better. I'm not sure what we're going to create, but hopefully something that doesn't sell for only 2,000. We need something that's going to sell for at least 8, 9, 10,000, something like that, just to be able to afford that wonderful piece of armor. Alright, so this is indeed the armor that I was looking for. 54,000, actually this, well, not 54,000, 54 body armor. But the funny thing is, there was actually a better set of armor, and unfortunately it looks as though that has disappeared, because this was obviously taken beforehand, and I'm assuming that why that person took it, whatever, that's neither here nor there, but they probably did something to that. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to get this armor right here, going to put that on me. Whoa, that's very shiny, isn't it? All right, so yeah, I should have enough now. I'm going to basically just get rid of every single crafted piece that I made. Let's see if I have enough to be able to afford it. I think I probably do. Yeah, I have 110,000 that we're going to be spending on this, which is, in my opinion, pretty fine. I think that's okay. We're also going to go over here to our doctor, and we're just going to give him this, old piece that I have here. And we're probably going to give him a shield as well. Does he have a horse? He does have a horse. So we're going to have to give him some kind of cavalry shield or something like that. There we go. All right, that's going to have to do for now. And indeed, we now have 44,000 remaining. So obviously that's a pretty hardcore amount to spend, right? It's a lot to spend. However, this is, in my opinion, worth it, because this is going to provide us with a lot more protection. It's going to be a lot easier for us. So the question is, what do we want? Do we want stamina to get my crafting stamina back, or do we want imposing stature to increase our party size? I guess we'll get the party size increase. And then we can probably also go for powerful here. And we're probably going to be going for Surging Blow. Yeah, I think Surging Blow is probably a little bit better for our purposes right now. Let's go for Warlord. That's going to give us 30% additional influence. I didn't get any... Oh, I didn't get any level ups. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well... yeah, so basically this guy's going to go over to the other place that was just taken by the Erebor faction. So shall we just trail them a little bit? Shall we just trail them and actually see what's going to happen here? Because maybe we're going to get, I mean, maybe, actually, you know what? I need to go back here for a real quick second. Alright, so basically the reason why I came back here is just so that I could sell my prisoners. And we also have this guy. He is from the Dunlendings. He's a relatively good engineer. It may be an idea for us to get this guy literally just so that he can be our engineer. I think I will. Let's take a look at how much he actually is. He's only 333. Wow, okay. That is really not much at all. And let's see what we can do. Okay, engineer. Yes, he will be the engineer. We will be... I think we will be the scout. We will remain being the scout, despite the fact that we only have... I mean, we have 94 in it. I think that's okay, right? I think that's all right. I don't think it's amazing, of course. And we'd probably have more like, you know, I don't know, 200 or something like that by now, if I had spec'd into it initially. But we're going to get there, you know. We're going to get there in the end. Anyway, let's see what this guy has in store for us, because you never know. Oh, he's actually changed his... Oh, okay, he's changed his target. I'm not sure why he's done that. He's changed his target for some unknown reason. That's a little bit weird. Alright, wait a second. Ah, okay. Oh, hello. Hello there. Ah, yes. Okay, so Mr. Ironfoot, would wish you wouldn't go inside. Okay, yeah, no, he is going in there. I actually wouldn't mind if both of them come out. We could fight both of them. Or are they just going to stay... Yeah, they're probably just going to stay in there, aren't they? They're just probably going to stay in there. Okay, the question is, let me see. What can we do? Maybe I can stay around about here and then just kind of see what happens. I'm going to assume he's just going to stay in there forever until I leave. Isn't that true? Oh, no, never mind, never mind. There he is. Oh, he's got 179 now. He only had 146 before. Okay, well, they're mostly recruits, right? So this shouldn't be that bad. Okay, let's just hope that he doesn't go in. No, he can't go in there. Okay, 179. I don't even know whether we can even fight this guy right now. He's got 179. That's a lot. Yeah, I don't know. This is not looking so good right now. Okay, well, let's just take forced march while we can here. And what does he actually even have? Let's take a look. He's got militia. He's got company. He's got sellswords. Okay, yeah, no, this is completely and utterly fine. I'm a little bit worried, actually, because I didn't save. Did I save? I actually don't know whether I saved, but hopefully I did. If I didn't, well, then that's just how it's gonna have to be, and we'll just have to fail and reload. Yes, we'll just have to do that. But yeah, anyway, I do have my nice new polearm here, and hopefully we're gonna be doing a fantastic amount of damage with it. So let's see if we can do a nice little snipage here. Maybe we can get some nice snipage going on. I don't know if we will. These guys do seem to be traveling relatively slow, which is kind of nice. Oh, yeah, I love that. Okay, thank you. And, oh, he's off his mount. Nice, and we killed that one. And maybe we can get this guy too. It's going to be a little bit unlikely, maybe. Oh, no, we got him off his mount as well. Fantastic. Okay, where are the enemies? They're over there. Okay, so that was basically all that they had to speak of in regards to cavalry. So, well, there you go. They are dwarves, after all, so they're not going to have that much. Okay, let's be a little bit careful here. Little bit careful. Don't really want to get myself absolutely slaughtered by random things. So I will just be a little bit careful when it comes to charging through here. I don't want to get stopped. I want to make sure that I'm very, very careful in regards to the enemy's weapon type. Because if they have a polearm and I get stopped, I'm going to get shot to pieces probably. That would be quite dangerous. Nice. Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay, okay. Very, very good. Maybe we can do a little bit of something here. Maybe we can come back in. Maybe attack from the side. The problem is we don't really have much that we can do here. I don't have any kind of penetration value or anything like that, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get stuck in, basically, right? And yeah, my forces are having some issues because obviously most of my people are indeed horse archers. I kind of would prefer if they weren't. horse archers, but you know, that's just the kinds of units that I've been recruiting and leveling up. I don't think that the people that I currently had access to, the recruits that I had access to, that is, I don't think they actually even had the ability to become heavy cavalry. So that's basically put paid to that, doesn't it? Yes. So I think what I'll try to do is at some point, whenever I have a spare moment, I might literally just go back to Rhun territory, try to find some other kinds of units, some other kinds of recruits, and then try to make something of that, because as it stands, I think some heavy cavalry would really do the business right now. It would be quite fun to have them. I mean, to be fair, okay, I'm going to say it right now, I do feel as though horse archers are very, very strong, nowhere near as strong as they used to be. And this is quite funny, you know, that I would say that, because I don't know whether you remember, but if you've ever seen my Crusade series way back, I think it was my second ever series that I made in Bannerlord. The Crusade series was one of my favorites. It was obviously punctuated by the fact that we had this amazing glitch happen to us at one point, which gave us over 1,000 scouting skill. Yes, it was just some weird glitch to do with a divide by zero error, and it literally gave us over 1,000 scouting skill, and I could see everyone across the map, basically. Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you know, my sight range was really, really large, and I couldn't do anything about it at the time because there weren't really that many mods, as far as I remember. And yeah, I couldn't change my stats or anything like that back. I don't know whether I'd want to, because scouting skill doesn't really do much. But it was nice, nevertheless, you know, it was pretty fun. And yeah, the Crusade themselves, as in horse archers, you know, because let's get back on topic here, shall we? But basically, look at that. Dane, he was eliminated. We actually just took him down. Nice. Okay, I didn't realize. But yeah, he was just wandering around there with his two-handed, and I was like, yep, okay, I've got his number. I'm going to poke him in the face. And that went very well. Anyway, yeah, so horse archers obviously used to be very, very different than how they are now. Horse archers used to be, well, basically entirely dominant. They were literally the most dominant force in Calradia. I don't think anything could really touch them because they had amazing mobility. They had crazy good damage, and they couldn't really be hurt either, so their survivability was insane. Because what would happen is you'd get something like this. You'd get a critical mass of them like I have right now. This was completely by accident, mind you. But back then, what you'd do is you'd basically just get a bunch of veteran horse archers from the Crusade, and you'd literally just sweep across the map. You just sweep across the map. I actually don't know. If anyone's played as the Crusade recently, by all means, let me know how they are, because I haven't played as them or with any of their units in years. So, yeah, by all means, let me know if they're actually still as strong as they used to be. I don't think they are at a low level at the very least. Maybe when they get a little bit higher level, maybe that changes things, because obviously, as we know, if you've, you know, listened to me over the last year or two, ever since they changed the way that horse archery works and changed how the skill level actually makes a huge difference to ranged accuracy when you're on a mount, that's the thing that really has an impact. That's the thing that really absolutely destroys any chance for lower level horse archery to be that effective, because the accuracy is just so harsh. Because basically your crosshair is going to be super wide. It's going to be like half the screen or something like that. Once again, exaggerating slightly there. But that doesn't preclude the fact that it is a bit annoying, you know? It is a little bit annoying to play like that. But anyway, let's take this guy prisoner. I don't know whether we should execute him. I kind of feel like executing him, but I don't know whether... I'm not sure if that is a particularly good idea from a lore perspective. Just purely because... I'm not sure if I want to remove him from the game, or maybe cause some kind of error to happen, because as far as I'm aware, I'm not sure whether you're supposed to or have the ability to execute people in this mod. I don't really want to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, there's this guy who has this really important event sometime, and now that I've executed him, his event cannot play, and then it causes an error of some kind. maybe that's what would happen. I don't know. Obviously not in this case, probably not in this case, but I'm just talking about in general. So yeah, this is the, as I said before, this is the troop line that I have mostly been recruiting. And you can see here that they don't have any horse archers. They just have, I mean, horse archers. Why? What do you mean they don't have any horse archers, you absolute imbecile? I'm looking at horse archers right here. Anyway, I was going to say, they don't have any heavy cavalry. That's what they don't have. They do have some infantry and they have some archers, but that's pretty much it. So that's the reason why I have so many horse archers in my party at the moment, because I only have these recruits available to me. So yeah, that's making a huge difference. Didn't I play as a dwarf? Did I play as a dwarf in this mod? I don't think so, right? Yeah, I don't think so. I think I played Gundabad and that was it. So yes. Well, that was it recently, at the very least, because I have played as Gondor, and I've played as an Uruk and Mirkwood Elf, and I think that might be it. Yeah, I think that might be it. But I remember actually capturing Isengard with one of those, and that was very fun. Okay, so I've got two skill points. Really, 2 skill points to spend? Okay, this is pretty crazy. So that means I guess I will spec into this. As you can see, we're going to get some more melee damage. And yeah, how close are we to level 20? We're actually level 19. Oh, okay, interesting. Let me see then. I think what we'll do is we will spec into scouting skill. Let's just get those 2 focus points into scouting skill. And now that we've captured this guy, I actually don't know. As I say, I don't think I'm going to execute him, just in case it causes some kind of issue. I am going to save here, just in case. You never know. You know, obviously, work in progress stuff. I am completely 100% understanding that if there is a crash, because first of all, I am actually using a mod that is a third-party mod, so I'm not using, you know, strictly what they recommend to do. So if you want to 100% reduce chances, because there's always a chance that it can happen, but if you want to reduce your chances a significant amount of any kind of crash, then do not play this with anything else except the mods that they have approved, as in their own mod and maybe a very strict list of stuff. But I'm using super speed, obviously, right? I'm using super speed, and I just cannot do without that. So it's just way too good. It's way too good for me to pass it up, and that's the reason why I'm using it. But, you know, as I said, it's very recommended just to follow what the modding team says in regards to compatibility, because you never know, you could inadvertently cause some kind of issue, and then you're going to get a whole bunch of crashes as a result of that. Oh, this is nice. We got some, oh yeah, we got some nice helmets. Let's go with this. Oh yeah, there we go. That's looking pretty fun. Okay, I'm going to just slowly start upgrading my gear, because I've had enough. Okay, I've had enough. We really want to make sure that we are just as dangerous as possible. That's what we want. Okay, so something like this I think would probably be quite nice. There we go. I'm going to be paying, oh no, I'm actually going to be getting 45,000. There we go. All right, that is pretty fantastic. Wow, that was really easy actually. And no recruits. Okay, yeah, well that's also fine. I'm thinking what we're going to do actually, let me see. If I go over here, I don't know what we're actually going to be able to recruit from there, but I'm thinking we're probably going to get away from this area for the moment, and I'm just going to go back and see if I can get some recruits from a different section of Rhun. Oh, the goblins have been eliminated. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting, and apologies for the road noise. Wow, that was... Wow, okay, yeah, that was very loud. Anyway, yeah, so... the goblins have been eliminated as well, and I'm assuming... there it is, Goblin Town. Yeah, so the Goblin Town was also eliminated by Mirkwood. So Mirkwood has completely and utterly destroyed every single evil faction around themselves, with the exception of these guys. Well, never mind, I entered here. Okay, yeah, so let's have a look. Okay, what are we going to get? Yeah. We got a chariot. We got a potential chariot right there. They do say, by the way, the modding team does say that use chariots at your own risk. because there can be some issues with them, as you might expect. You know, I mean, it's a new unit. It's a new unit, so it makes sense, right? It makes sense that there would be maybe some issues with them. Anyway, I am personally probably going to be going for the Khan's Chosen, because while I wouldn't mind checking out the chariot, maybe I'll get one of them or something like that, I don't know. But these guys are inherently going to be so much more effective, so I think we are going to be getting as many of these guys as I can. And there we go. Okay, that's going to be pretty nice. Okay, I'm pretty happy that we came all the way over here and retrieved some of these recruits. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And now the thing is, well, yeah, obviously we've got these guys right here, right? So we have the Misty Mountain Orcs, and then we have some Dunland people. Yeah, Dunland is around there, but yeah, I believe I think someone actually said someone actually asked on the overview video whether you can play as Linden, and as far as I'm aware, I don't think that's possible at the moment. I'm not sure if it will be possible. I think it is a... I'm not sure if it's a smaller faction. If it is a smaller faction, then it's unlikely that that would be the case, but obviously you can play as a goblin, and I think you can probably... I think I seem to remember that you can play as the goblins of Blue Crag, technically. You can play as these guys. This would be hard difficulty, so just bear that in mind. That would be pretty difficult to do, despite the fact that they are up against elves. I think they might give it a good shot. As you can see, they... yeah, no, you can actually play as these guys. Yeah, never mind. I actually... I didn't know where they were, so I was like, oh, are they down next to the Haradrim or something like that? No. They're actually these guys. And you can play as those fellows. Yeah, I think someone actually asked that, but I think my first episode of this series actually did answer that question anyway, so well, I don't even know why I'm talking about it, but yeah. Anyway, so you could see here, we got this guy right there. He is obviously going to take that. I'd like to... Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, these guys... okay, I kind of want to go and help them. I'm not going to get there in time. That's the reason why I'm groaning a little bit, because I don't think I'm going to make it there in time. Okay, so we've got these guys declaring war on Rhun, and here we go. Someone threatens some place. Oh, up here? Really? Ah, oh, that's a problem. As you can clearly see here, Dale is attempting to do something. Okay, and someone else is... Ah, yeah, someone else is besieging this now as well. Okay, interesting. I guess we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look and see what happens. It seems like someone has... Yep, someone has defeated whoever was taking Castle E9. Okay, yeah, and we've got this guy. Yeah, okay, we could potentially do something here. I'm actually just going to save real fast, but here's the thing. I would love to be able to defend this against 700. I think this would be pretty easy. Or at the very least, it would provide us with a significant amount of athletic skill, which is kind of the whole deal here. I'd like to get a lot of athletic skill in this situation. We've got a lot of people as well. We've got a lot of people right here. I wonder whether we can get them to sally out. It's highly unlikely, right? Yeah, well, we'll see, I guess. Okay, so it looks as though, unfortunately, they are indeed sallying out. I asked the question, and lo and behold, it has happened. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. For me, personally, I would very much prefer for them to just go into the siege, and then for us to attack them afterwards or something like that. But I guess, generally... I mean, this is a good idea, don't get me wrong. I think this is a good idea because the AI obviously knows what they're doing when it comes to eliminating any kind of offensive force, and especially considering the new strategic intelligence upgrades that the mod has received, it means that AI is a lot more, shall we say, a lot more steadfast in their beliefs. So in other words, they will 100% commit to certain strategies instead of just kind of like messing around randomly, not really knowing what they're doing. So I very much appreciate that. Oh, and it crashed. Alright, so instead of us actually going in there manually, I think we're probably just going to handle them in an auto-resolve just to kind of get them out the way, just in case, you know, because I don't really want to go in there and have them you know, get that annoying instability happening there. I don't actually know what's causing that, to be honest. As I said, it could very well be because I am using super speed that is causing some kind of unstable thing to happen. But again, work in progress, all that stuff. I personally don't mind as long as you save a decent amount. It's not really a big deal. Yeah, anyway, they have taken that. I was actually wanting to go up there and oh, hello. They're going over to Scarhold. Okay, okay. I will join. I will join your efforts. I will join your efforts, Zamek Zamian with his Zami. Yes, with his Zami. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I am so funny, aren't I? Aha, yes. Indeed. Yeah, but anyway, look at this. What is this guy doing? He is attacking what looks like a base on Hoth. Look at that. Okay, let's take him out. Now forgive me, but I will not speak like a dwarf, and I will attack and murder, and I will attack you. I will attack this guy for sure. I will definitely attack this guy, and this is going to be super nice for our new units as well, because let's face it, we want to get experience for them. We want to make sure that they level up as fast as possible so that they can, indeed, as you might expect, absolutely slaughter everyone in their path. Which is exactly what we want. Considering we are going to be getting those wonderful, what is it again? Those Khan's, well, they're not Khan's guards, but they're something like that. And as it begins, I will murder someone with my couch. Never mind, I won't murder anyone with my couch, but I will murder someone with my spear. Because my couch is too heavy to lift, and too big to get through the door. Unless you pivot up and down the stairs, of course. But yes, otherwise, apart from that, we will be able to hopefully get some pretty nice... Yep, there we go. We finally made it. We made it. We got to 275 in pole arms. That is exactly what I wanted. Now, indeed, I think the best course of action for us from now on is to probably try and level up our athletic skill. But as I said to you before, in the first half of this episode, I kind of don't want to go into a field battle and get off my mount, because if I get off my mount and I'm like, oh yeah, let me just get off my mount real quick, I'm gonna get absolutely slaughtered, because every single person around me is just gonna collapse on my position. That's it. They're just gonna try to collapse on my position. And obviously, and this is the funny thing, you may not think I'm doing that much right now, considering I'm not really getting that many kills. I mean, I am killing some things, but generally, I could be more effective, I guess, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to spread the damage with our charging here. I'm trying to spread the damage quite dramatically, just so that our forces have a much easier time of being able to eliminate them. So the question is, can I actually go through here really easily? I don't think so, because these guys have pole arms. I can go along the side here. Maybe that's going to cause a little bit of damage. Yeah, as you can see, a little bit, like 15 to 20 damage. I think that's okay. That's not too bad. And, you know, obviously in comparison to what we would normally see from charge damage, you know, because normally you're doing like, what, 2-3 damage every single time. And while that does add up over time, this is obviously much more significant. And if we can, yeah, here we go. Nice. Nice. Let's do this. Ooh, you know what? I would love to be able to see. I'd love to be able to see what happens if we actually manage, or shall we say, if Rhun actually manages to defeat the dwarves and move on from there. You know, I would love to be able to see what actually happens when we come up against the elves, because as it stands right now, I feel pretty good about my chances. I don't know. I feel pretty strong right now, but maybe that doesn't. Wow, that helmet is insane. 78 protection. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's very, very impressive. Look at that, 78 protection. I'm not going to wear it because it's a dwarven helmet, but there you go. That is pretty incredible to literally have a helmet that has 78 protection. No wonder the dwarves are so difficult sometimes to kill. Anyway, let's go on to... Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. Is this a town? It is. Ah, nice. Okay, yeah. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to go over here, sell our prisoners to this town, and then we'll hopefully be able to have enough time to make our way over to Scarhold afterwards. And maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get into some more fights. And we'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, if I can sell here, we're going to be making some pretty decent cash. Let's have a look. There we go. 16,000 actually. And indeed, I can probably sell for even more here. Yeah, there you go. 34,000. Just straight up 34,000. And we can now get over there. I'm not sure if we're going to have the opportunity to join the siege, but I would love to. I think 118 additional troops would make a significant difference. Unfortunately, he's already gone in. I think he might actually... Oh, no. Yeah, we might have some issues here, friends. I don't know. Ooh, this is looking real bad, actually. This is looking so bad. Look at this. How is that 600? That is 600. Well, I can't do anything about that now. I have to go in because I apparently committed to this. I apparently committed to this in a big way, so this is going to be quite dangerous, despite the fact that the combat strength doesn't look particularly good for our opponents. So I'm now thinking that maybe we can handle it. Maybe it's going to be doable. Unfortunately, it is a field battle. I was kind of hoping to go in for the siege, but yeah, there wasn't much for me to do here. All right, well, let's try it out. I have 45 horse archers, my own forces, my other guys, my allies here. They don't really have much. They don't really have much to speak of in regards to horse archery or anything like that, so I'm not a big fan. There we go. She's going off the mount. Okay. And maybe we can do something. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here actually, because they've got a lot of crossbowmen. Not a big fan. This reminds me of fighting the Rodoks or the Vlandians or something like that. I'm not a big fan of that because crossbowmen generally are some of, in my opinion, some of the most difficult unit types to deal with, just because they have so much front load damage. Unfortunately, there is a crash. Alright, so we are now back here, unfortunately, because my save was obviously just over here, just before the battle with this guy who was attempting to besiege this town. Now, we will be able to go in against Thorin Stonehelm again, and obviously he was very simple for us to eliminate, so I'm not going to have any problems with that. Then, we're hopefully going to be able to join this siege. Maybe, just maybe, they won't decide to have an ambush and sally out. Maybe what we can do is try to get a little bit of skirmishing going on there. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this episode off here. We're hopefully going to be able to do all that wonderful skirmishing and stuff like that in the next one. As you can see, we're now clan tier 2, almost tier 3. Pretty, not too bad, not too bad. I mean, I feel like that's okay. And we're almost level 20 as well. Very nice. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.